Now, we've got a bit of fun this afternoon. For those of you who don't live in the UK, this may be a slightly strange hour that you're about to experience. Today is Valentine's Day, and Valentine's Day traditionally is a time when you would profess your love for your life partner, whoever that might be. And there was, in the 1990s, a very popular TV game show called Blind Date in the UK, where once a week on a Saturday night, a bright red-headed celebrity called Cilla Black, who I am not, would introduce three unsuspecting individuals to a prospective date. The date would then put to them 3 or 4 questions. They'd give some answers, and at the end, based on just those 3 questions, a beautiful relationship would blossom. We're going to do that this afternoon. We're going to do it twice as well, because we have 6 technology companies who are going to come and join me shortly and sit on these chairs. And first in two sets of 3. So there'll be a first set of 3 companies that comes through, and then we're going to have a question and answer session with an investor to start with. And the investor, who will be on the other side of that panel, so not able to see the prospective companies, because you know what, this isn't about looks. This is about the quality of the answers. This is about how they respond to difficult questions. So we will have an investor on the other side of the panel who will throw out some questions. We will invite our technology companies to give some succinct and hopefully amusing answers to those. And at the end of that little exercise, we'll work out how the marriage comes together. There is a prize, because of course everything has to have a prize nowadays, and the prize is an hour spent with that investor getting into a more deep and meaningful conversation. Second prize is 2 hours with them. Spent hours planning that joke. So we're doing it first of all with the investors. We're then going to repeat the exercise with a utility, because of course if you're a technology company, you're not just after money and talking to investors, you also need to be able to engage with your end users, and we have one of the leading UK utilities who's going to be represented here, and they're going to go through the same exercise. So, everyone understand the rules? There's audience participation here, okay? I'm going to ask that again. I want a nice loud yes. Everyone understand the rules? Yeah. Perfect. So, we are ready. Could we bring through our first few companies? So in the tradition of the game show, I'm going to ask each of you who you are and where you're from, if you could give me a little succinct answer, and then we'll move to the other side of this beautiful panel.
Hi, my name's Duncan Collins. I'm from a company called Zeropex. And
we don't really care what he does, do we?
I've got to tell you, unfortunately I have Zeropex.
In 2 sentences, tell me what Zeropex does.
We've invented and have started selling a microturbine to the water industry, and as the water company delivers water to its customers, we manage the pressure, we manage the flow, and convert that kinetic energy into electricity, which we deliver or sell to the grid.
Putting fancy things in people's pipes. Our second contestant. It's going to be a bit like that, isn't it? Sorry. Innuendos. Second contestant, could you tell me who you are and where you're from?
Hi, my name's Steve Tennyson. I'm from a little company called Mars Carbon. We're essentially a research and development company, and we work in the area of synthetic nanoporous carbons. We've been going since 1996, grown from 2 to 16 people, and we work about 50% in collaborative projects, 50% in directly funded projects, and now increasingly in manufacturing these high-value carbons. Well, I have to say we're aiming at gross margins of more than 90%. So.
Very good. So I heard the words gross, collaborative, been around for a while, and synthetic. All those you could weave together into some sort of innuendo, I'm sure. Steve, thank you very much. Let's hear it for Steve. Our third contestant, could you tell us who you are and where you're from, please?
Hi all, I am Biaqua, the mistress of phosphate attraction. And I'm like the perfect partner. I have a great body and a great mind, sexy and elegant. Our body is water treatment, biotechnology and nanotechnology. And we combine it with a mind to make the investors a lot of money, the dedication and the drive to do it.
I love it. Oh, this is going to be so much fun. Thank you very much. So, let's move on to the other side and introduce our investor. Now, investor, it's important that you're able to see the audience, but you're not able to see the other, the datees. Does that mean you need to move a little bit this way, or are you okay? I'm fine. You're fine. Okay, good. So, would you like to tell me who you are and what you do?
I'm Bashful Bob from Archway, and I have a huge, great dowry. I'm looking for a marriage. I'm looking for a deep, blissful relationship with a company or a person. But I also have a pre-formed prenuptial agreement, which basically states the money goes in, but I want it out again with profit very quickly, and because I want to then invest in a younger model. So that's basically what I am.
Excellent. In and out quickly, because he's looking for something different, okay?
It's all you can manage at mine.
Now, I understand that you have 3 questions.
I do.
Good. I think now is the right time for you to give us your first question, and if you could tell me whether we're going for number 1, number 2, or number 3. You know which one you want? 1, 2, 3, yes?
The first question's for number 2.
First one, number 2.
So what makes you stand out from the crowd?
Okay, so as I said before, we've been involved in these materials for an awfully long time now. We have a unique position in this that gets us invited to a lot of parties, fortunately. This particular party came about through a European project, Brighton University, one of our main partners. And in there, what we've come across is a very novel form of carbon that has a unique propensity for dealing with metaldehyde. So we're in direct competition with Tom, who I think has left. So what we have is a very nice system for getting rid of slugs. And that's where we hope to go with this, is into a completely new technology for slug abatement.
So we have slug killing, that's slimy.
It's terribly slimy. Yeah.
Who is number 3?
Number 3, could you repeat the question?
So what makes you stand out? Why should I choose you?
What we can do with our enzyme-based technology is to remove phosphate to the absolutely lowest possible level, so the sub-ppb level. And with this low level of phosphate, we actually combat also slimy stuff. We primarily combat slimy stuff in reverse osmosis membranes, combating biofouling by basically removing the key nutrient for growth for bacteria from the feed water. And we can also use this as an application in biocorrosion or in advanced phosphate removal from wastewater, for example. So.
No further questions? Same question for number 1.
Hi, Big Bob.
Bashful Bob.
Oh, Bashful Bob. I was kind of hoping you might be Big Bob.
It may also be Big Bob, but we're not going to go there.
Hi, Bashful Bob. I mean, the thing is, you might be interested to know I'm very experienced, and I've done it before. My last company I sold to Severn Trent. It was one of the first VC-funded businesses that successfully sold, and now I'm repeating that success at Zeropex. We have a turbine that fits in this it's a great word I learned today, nexus of energy and water. And we're actually helping the water companies to manage their pressure and reduce leakage. At the same time, we're reducing their carbon footprint and helping them to reduce their energy costs.
Very exciting. So we've got someone who's done it all before, someone who's a little bit slimy, and someone who can reduce it down to very small, but may not be a problem for you.
Or is it a bit windy? That's what
It is a bit windy, yes. Your second question.
The second question is, okay, so what stage are you at? You know, how old are you? How mature are you? You know, are you ready for a marriage like this? What's your sense?
And the question is to whom first?
Number 3.
Number 3.
Well, I'm obviously not a year older than 18. Just. We are at the stages with a company to push our technology from the lab, where we show that it works very, very well, into our first pilot and our demonstration units.
So you're You're at demonstration unit set, but you're not at sales.
Not at sales yet, no.
Okay. And your question two, number one.
Well, I launched myself into the market in the UK about 3 years ago, and contrary to popular belief, we actually had our first profitable sale within 8 months. Actually, it's quite good timing, because if it was 9 months, I might have given birth a bit early. But since then, we've grown quite quickly, and in our second year of trading, we achieved over £2 million of turnover and made £300,000 bottom line, as they say. So this year we should do 5 million, and we'll probably make between 1 million and 1.3 million pounds bottom line again. So we're doing okay.
Just like saying the word bottom.
I just like saying the word bottom. I could have used the word profit, but I thought Bashful Bob would be more interesting.
This is the windy one. And to question number two, we now take question number two, contestant number two. Correct.
Right, thank you very much. I think we're at a significantly earlier stage than the other two datees here, in as much as this technology has only been evolving over the last 12 months. But we've had some proposals from the water industries to sort of start taking this forward because they need a solution. And therefore, that's really where we want to go. We need a suitable dowry to actually take this forward with the water industries. And we believe that there is every potential to get this to a relatively simple solution very quickly. It's not something that we think we've got to work on for 10 years to get there. So we're looking for a short engagement.
Short engagement may not have gone as far as you'd like him to go, but he's ready to go the distance.
I just want to know whether my dowry matches with their wishes.
Okay,
Because you have parents to deal with. So how much money, is my final question, do you actually need to take it all the way through these things to when I can get rid of it?
How much money to go all the way? Okay, that's the question. How much does it cost?
Number three.
Number three.
To get us through 2013 and 2014, we need roughly between 1.5 and 2 million euros to scale up our enzyme production and get the product into the demonstration phase. After that, we expect we'll have a small team, and we'll keep the team small, that we don't need a lot of additional investment to get our sales up. So we may be looking at another 1 million more.
1.5 million to get the things going. Oh, to 2 or to 1? To 1.
Gosh, well, it depends how deep you want to go with this, basically, Bashful Bob. I mean, we're looking to penetrate new markets at the moment, and we're very successful in the UK, but we think it's going to cost us about £1 million for each new market we approach. We've got our first pilot plant going into, or actually going into a Californian treatment facility at San Jose in the next couple of months. And if we're successful there, I suspect we'll need somewhere north of £5 million in order to successfully sort out the North American market as our next target market.
More expensive date.
We are indeed.
Steve.
Last but not least, I think looking at these two, we come pretty cheap. Perhaps that's not where we should be. And it depends really how quickly you want to be in and out. But okay, I mean, we're at an early stage, and we probably need of the order of 150, 200,000 to get us to the first major proof of concept, which would be a laboratory type thing. And then we're already talking to some of the water industries about taking that up to a pilot scale, and to do that, we'd probably be looking at between 250, 500. And I think at that point, it is commercial. At that stage, I think we'd be looking for a divorce, or at least an ongoing relationship, because then you get into the big stuff when you've got to start making plant and material. So, yeah, probably of the order of 500,000 to get.
Right. So, you've got your answers. Let me, before you make your decision, because the next step now is I'm going to ask you to choose which of these beautiful contestants you're going to choose. But let me summarise them for you. We have contestant number 1, who does something with pipes. He's been around a bit. It's quite an expensive date. It's going to need you to dip your hand deep into your pocket. But he's been around. He's done this before with lots of other people. Contestant number 2 has an interesting technology. This is new. It's exciting. It's not been done before. He comes cheap. tenth of the price of contestant number one, but maybe hasn't got the same maturity, having trod the path before, that you might have wanted. It's a challenge, but an exciting one. You could hold his hand on that journey. And contestant number three does something with enzymes that gets your juices going. Thinks he's very attractive. So, Bashful Bob from Archway. You want the expensive date. You are going for... contestant number one. Stay in your seat. Just like they do on the game show, it is important that you see what you could have won. Wrong game show, but I'm still going to do it. So, contestant number two, would you like to meet Bashful Bob, please? Go through, shake hands. And thank you to Masked Carbon for joining in this. That is an excellent technology and one to watch. Bashful Bob. Someone else you turned down. Here it is Wilbert from Bioaqua. Again, Bioaqua, a technology to keep your eye on. Lots of UK water companies getting excited about this, but... You may now come this side of the banner and meet Duncan Collins of Zeropex. So ladies and gentlemen, you are witnessing a beautiful moment. This is the start of a long, long relationship between Rob Wiley of Red Ventures and Duncan Collins of Zeropex. We have one last round of applause for them both before we move on to the next one. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Oh no, we're going to do it all over again. But with a slightly different twang to it. So, Rob, you may take a seat. Yes, Rob, Bashful Bob, Big Bob, whatever you wish to call yourself. Toxic Rob was what we were going to go for. So, thank you for participating so fully. I think my Mr. Utility needs to step outside, otherwise you might get to see the companies coming through. And if I could ask for my... We're missing one of our three contestant companies. Excellent, they're all there. That never happened with ITV, did it? I don't know. So, can I have another round of applause, please, as we bring through our next three companies. Oh, we've gone up, we've got four. I was getting quite excited there. I thought this was going to be good. Now we've got potential for there to be actually a male-female mix here, which I was slightly worried about. We weren't ever going to get to. But contestant number one, where are you and where are you from?
James Dunning, Syrinix.
And tell me a little bit about Syrinix.
We make very shiny, very clever equipment that attaches to very large pipes. Steady.
I'm going to have to work as hard on this one, am I? Contestant number two, who are you and where are you from, please?
My name is Fraser Hickson and I'm from Weeding Tech, and we own a company called FoamStream. And FoamStream is an innovative technology which uses hot water, steam and foam to kill weeds. So our big part in the utility industry is to help them remove chemical prior to it being put down on the ground.
Excellent, very good. I like the name Weeding Tech. It's all in the name, isn't it? Contestant number three, come prepared. Who are you and where are you from?
My name is Annie Brooking. I'm the Chief Executive of Backtest, and I'm here to tell you today about how quickly we breed with our new product, Speedy Breedy.
Excellent. And so, we move to the second part of this, which is to introduce the leading utility to whom you are hopefully going to secure a date. Could I have a round of applause, please, for Actually, I'll let him introduce himself. Put a round of applause, please.
Hello, I'm Willie Widget from Wisbech.
That isn't his real name. You will introduce him at the end. But, Willie, do you have some questions prepared? Are you ready for today? Are you ready to secure the lucky date, the technology of your dreams?
Absolutely. In utilities, we have lots of long pipes, high level of biological activity, and some very large assets that would give any organisation a good time.
I assume there's quite a few people who aren't British in the audience thinking, what the fuck's going on? Now, could I have your first question, please?
Certainly. Okay, what do you consider to be your best
And why would your assets appeal to me?
more than those of your competitors?
Excellent. What a good question. What is your best asset and why would it appeal to Willie more than anyone else's? Who would you like the question to go to first?
Company one.
Company one. James.
Thank you, Willie. We're really pleased that you like large assets because we love them as well, actually. What we do is we help keep you dry. We do that in two ways. First of all, we keep an eye on your large pipes so that if they spring a leak, you can fix the leak before it turns into a big burst that gets everyone sodden. And secondly, it means you can do it from a cosy, comfortable office or even at home rather than having to stand out in the rain and start threading things along your pipes because that's always difficult and expensive.
Okay, so many jokes one could make about doing something with a large pipe-like asset in the office. I've already had one verbal warning in the office at Thames. I don't intend to get a second one.
Really?
The question to go to 2 or 3? Company two. What is it so special about your technology and why does it stand out over and above the competition?
Well, we're all about foam, hot foam, so it's a very exciting product. But the two things that are really important to us is our very robust IP. So we've got this protected around the world. So we're making sure we make it work in the UK, and then we're going to take it out around the world and have some fun with it around there. And also our strategy is very strong. So what it's about is about proving the concept, which we talked about earlier on today, and making sure that it works so that everyone who's around us, such as Mr. Willie Widget, appreciates that we're here and we've proven it before we actually go and sell it to them.
So Willie Widget can only use your hot foam to lather up his assets. Is that what you're telling me?
He can only use our hot foam to kill his weeds.
Well, I almost understood it.
That's very good.
And the same question to number 3. Annie.
Well, you should be very interested in our assets because we can breed very, very quickly. And what we do is we breed bacteria, should it be present in the clean water supply where it shouldn't be. So we're a contamination test. But the really good thing about Speedy Breedy is that she can do it anywhere. She can do it in a valley. She can do it in the back of a car. She can do it in the lab. She can even do it on the photocopier.
At Thames, haven't you? I can tell.
Not yet.
Okay, some terrific answers there. Terrific or horrific? One of those two. So we come to question number 1. You've got beginning to get a picture of what we've got home.
I'm leaking and foaming over.
Marvellous. Question number 2, please, Willie.
If I was to pick you, how and where would you spend our first date? And that's to company 2.
Company 2. If you were to be lucky, how and where would you want to go on your first date?
Well, being an ambitious company, we've got a roadshow this year, and I think I'd take you to come and meet some of our partners who we've proved the product with, so you could talk to them. We could get you hands-on, get you using the foam, and see what you think about it.
So it's hot foam, not just one-on-one, it's one-on...
Teamwork.
Teamwork. Right, so... Number 1 or number 3? Number 3. Annie.
Well, when we go on our first date, Willie, I think really I'd like to go with more than just you. I think what I would like to do is to go out with a crew, you know, those boys that wear yellow jackets and so forth, and possibly go and look at some burst water mains and exciting things like that. And when we got there, I would show you how quickly I can breed.
I'm just going to go wash. I'm guessing that this question is now to number one. To number one, James.
I just feel dirty. We would give you a choice, actually. Quite often we like to go to people's main homes where they are, so we can just have a chat and relax and talk about what sort of problems and challenges you have with your leaks and bursts. Or if you want something a bit more in the open air, we can go out and get down in a chamber and have a look at a real pipe.
So you're after intimate, but it can be however you like it. Okay, we have two questions. We only have one more question left before you've got to make the possibly most important decision of this lunchtime.
Your last question.
Okay, question 3 then. If you were to describe your technology, if you were to describe it as a celebrity, who would that be?
If your technology was a celebrity, who would it be? Question to number 3. Annie, if your technology was a celebrity, who would it be?
Well, just take a look at me. I'm pretty gorgeous. I have some 60s styling. I have beautiful curves. I'm really pretty hot. Men really do like fondling me. So really, you should call me Marilyn Monroe.
Very good. We have mine, and I have to say, she comes with gadgets. It's hard to beat that one. The question 2, number 1. James, if you were a celebrity, who would you be and why?
If I was a celebrity, I think I'd be David Attenborough. Because it's clever. It tells you things you didn't necessarily know, but you're glad you knew afterwards. You'll go anywhere. But most of all, really like and are very good at managing gorillas.
Brilliant, brilliant. A national treasure, David Attenborough, national treasure, good at managing gorillas. So, the last answer, if you were a celebrity, who would you be and why?
I think I'd have to be Professor Brian Cox, the new boy on the street, intelligent, pretty good with gorillas, but a rock and roll history.
Marvellous. Excellent. So, we have our 9 answers. Before you give it, let me just give a little summary here. We have James. Does clever things in pipes. Been doing it for quite a long time. And he'd like to do it intimately with you. Just you and him in a chamber somewhere. We have Fraser. We forgot your name. I had to glance down on the bench. We have Fraser, who's in the hot foam. A whole new exciting way. There's not many conferences where people talk about hot foam and lots of people getting together. But there's Fraser with his hot foam and killing off weeds, getting rid of those things you don't like. And then we've got Annie with all of the beautiful things that make up Annie, including her gadgets. Marilyn Monroe, actually she's better than Marilyn Monroe. Willie, it's time for you to make a choice. Is it 1, 2, or 3?
Tough decision. Organisation 1, intellectual. I like the intellectual type.
Yeah?
Company 2, very go-ahead, very upfront. And organisation 3, a little bit scary.
Not at all.
Scary,
It's gorgeous.
but I do like the biology aspect.
That's good.
I'm going to go for organisation 3.
Organisation number 3 it is. Well done. So let me introduce you to what you could have won for the goat. First of all, we have James Dunnings from Serenix. Serenix, a terrific technology. We've been using it inside Thames Water for many years now. We've got them all over the Olympic Park. They were part of the reason the Olympic Park didn't flood last summer. So I'm very pleased with them. Thank you very much, James. Technology number 2, Fraser from Weeding Tech. one of the best ways to kill off weeds around your reservoirs, I can guarantee it. But the special date, to Annie Brooking, to Steve Kay, not Willie Widget, it's Steve Kay from Anglian Water. Congratulations. So thank you very much, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. Apologies to anyone who really had no clue what was going on there. And thank you for letting us be a little bit light-hearted for the afternoon.